continuamos. Eh, ya casi es hora de ir a buscar al señor que
I was
fuma.
just thinking, what a nice day for questions pertaining to a murder investigation. Lies.
Yes, we demand she be. She slowly. This medicine cabinet is stocked with pharmaceuticals line the shelves. Sheet up pharmaceuticals line the shelves. Pill bottles. Necra. This is used to. The lieutenant. You could say he's on the lookout. The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says, your bottles clunk into the machine, and the money appears with a satisfying jingle. Do you know what you should do with that money, kiddo? You should buy more alcohol. Right to work! The trash container stands. The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste. You see, you've done this before. No, searching for evidence. A box falls into pieces. Not much to see here in it. There's nothing more of interest. The container sounds a muffled gong.
What do you see?
Give me a moment. It's about Victor, isn't it? It's always about Victor with her. You'll find the Maisons in apartment 20 upstairs. It's one of those doors on the balcony.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to it?
Ruination has come. The broken arches betray the once grand history of this building. It towered over. A great force from the northeast fired into the city. Heavy artillery shelled the coastline. The tenement acted as a defensive wall against the worst of the shelling. The wind blows through your hair. The sea breeze cuts around you, high on the balcony, as you stare over the edge of the sea. The waves of the Martinez Inlet roll over. What didn't fall into the ocean was used as those arches acted as support. Only 3 stories stand where 9 to 12 once did. Restoration has failed. What the shelling took out was never a fleet. The combined armies of Occident and Grad. They massed airships further down in the Bay of Revachol. The artillery was many are still there to this day. If you squint, you can just bear. Coalition warship Archer can shoot 50 shells a minute on 20 co-aligned archers. They will reach the city in 58.
The coalition. But that was a long time ago. I think we should move on. It's chilly up here.
From the eyes of a seagull, a nest of brown hair not worth the 50-foot dive. From a pedestrian on the dock, a rugged man staring out to sea, mere feet from fatality. From a guest on the balcony of the whirling in rags, a silhouette imposing enough to be seen at a distance. The library card is folded into Billy is a unisex name. Whoever owns most of these titles, if lost, please What happened here? It will still be accessible through the apartment next to it. That one didn't have a door. Sadly, nothing of great value remains here. Indeed.
You're back. Good. More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything. These are unimportant times, Detective. You and I were born after the dust had settled. 1,000th of a second for the big time. The revolution. It's quite easy. Every 100 years or so, our species gets together to decide what's next, who gets shot in the head, and who gets the mineral rights. It's a real kerfuffle. Those would be the communists. Generally speaking, 40 million people got shot in the head during the World Revolution. But oh, and the anarchists too. They shot them well.
She likes the totality of it.
Indeed. They piled them in mass graves in Ozon. Did they ever? Before they got shot themselves, they shot 2 million people. Yes, the Red Deluge. The Insulindian Deluge, they call it. Oh, lots of people. Even the king got shot in the head, or thrown beneath a horse, or drowned. Accounts differ. It was unceremonious. Just the real king abdicated and lived out a long and productive life as a venture capitalist in Grad. Yes, King Guillaume had a nose for bad PR. He ran before it. What is the expression? Him and tens of thousands of his wonderfully fascist kingsmen. It was a wild time. The liberals got the mineral rights. And by mineral rights, I mean everything. Liberals are usually middle-class people, Detective. Or the remaining gentry. Some were rich enough to stay with the Constitution, with monarchy. Big mistake. Others bet on the revolution. They didn't win so much as survive. We were the last ones standing when the war ended.
We. She's one of them. Of course.
To foreign intervention. The coalition. Those people really took the mineral rights. The liberals took everything that wasn't nailed to the ground. The coalition took the ground. The ocean, the laws, and the coalition of nations. Grad, Mesk, Vesper, Messina, Oranje, and the moralists believe in keeping everything exactly the way it is. They be at least not in the same manner and volume as the others do.
The rulers of Revachol. And also...
This is their zone of control. They embolden the RCM with crumbs of the same law they took.
The color of moralism is blue. The official motto of Moral Intern, or Moralist International, is a blue forget-me-not, a piece of grey sky. Unofficial. For a moment, there was hope.
An almost endearingly moralist standpoint. It must be hard to take a moderate approach to head shooting in your line of work. The turn of the century revolution? The revolution began in '02 on the Isla of Grad, though by the end, it wasn't a who, but a what. A pandemic of Zarat, a particularly virulent prion disease, which the authorities in Grad proved unable to. It made people overthrow their governments. Of course not. It was a highly infectious
Voy a tener que apagar la
microorganism
luz
that
porque
destroyed brain tissue. The actual causes of the
es
revolution
un
were
poco molesto
material.
en los ojos.
Pandemic only provided the spark.
It was a funny time in history. They discovered transistors and rock music, but they didn't know anything about prion.
From Revachol and Grad? Not far. The world managed to cauterize itself. Why? You and I, officer. Our lives in the zone of control. A city-state divided into free market zones under the zone of control is the third incarnation of Revachol. After the failure of the modernity, they developed the marvels of the inter-eastlery communication, telematic milieus, radiation, colored plastics. Meanwhile, in Revachol West,
51 minus 8 equals 43.
time flies. The 20s saw a decade of urban war west of the river level, offshore platforms in flames. Still, it's regarded as an improvement on what came. The 30s? Things settled down in the 30s. Revachol East transformed itself into the world's largest tax haven.
All that untaxed income must have fueled the new That can only mean one thing.
Yes, and quantitative easing. It was a market mirage, unfortunately. The 40s dispelled it. An Isola-wide hangover, you might say. Welcome to reality, baby.
For her to be where she is, Wild Pines Group must have picked the right side.
They picked the winning side. That's why they're here, and others are not. Perhaps it wouldn't have turned out that way had I been in charge. I might have bet on the king and led the Pines to doom. I would have sided with the cannons. If you'd seen the calibers of the things, you might have too. 10 of the 14 Indo tribes got it wrong. Failed. Good question. What would you have done differently? And you would have died, most likely. Not far from here. Maybe even right here, during the beachhead, defending the coast the day the Coalition took the city.
Probablemente.
Almost certainly. The Commune would have forced you. Such was the fate of the undecided. They are what they are. Who knows? Anyway, enough.
Now's your chance. Ask her who she is. She won't get out this time. She won't maneuver her way out of this one.
I am the vilest of the vile. A traitor, a devourer of nations, and I am an ultra.
She raises the corner of her mouth, smirking, revealing a canine.
Haven't you heard? I am a nether creature of the Forbidden Swamp. One of those who pushed the king under a shit wagon. We surrendered the nation to financial colonists. No saint person identifies as an ultra anymore. Not in broad daylight. Tell me, now that I've uncoiled myself.
In her green eyes you see a mixture of truth and self-satire. Decades of guilt and pride.
Yo contestaría esto, pero... Eso es lo que no contestaría, así es que vamos a hacerlo.
A devil, who being of great charm and guile, sneaketh into the...
That dialect is ubi sunt. You recognize it's a quote from somewhere. A play. Beneath her waterproof raincoat and silk shirt is a body imbibed in numb 12 perfume. You are suddenly and intimately aware of it.
Esta no.
Maybe you remember more than you let on. Despite whatever brain damage the alcohol may have inflicted. I'm afraid you'll find that every woman is a devil woman, detective. There are only aesthetic differences between one and the other. When the dust settled, the Liberals were the only ones left to clean up the mess. By virtue of their survival, they were handed enormous power to shape the future. This was all our last generation managed. With due respect to our overlords, the eternal caretaker government that keeps I would not have relinquished sovereignty to the Coalition. Not here in Martinez, and not in the Stella Maris or Delta Beachheads either.
She realizes her small, cold fists are clenched.
Then for my daughters, we had an obligation to defend our sovereignty. We should have burned the whole Isola down rather than let them have it. Perhaps.
You're no dummy yourself. and the crown on your head as you lay in the casket.
Yes, I suppose I am. But I wouldn't be a patriot anywhere but here.
Seditious talk, man.
Yes. Whatever else I am, I'm also a mother and a wife.
Quiero usar esta, pero no sé
Shall we
cómo
return to reality?
aumentar la probabilidad.
Glad to have been of assistance. The little...
Vamos a ver si con el equipo esta nos favorece. Creo que nos hace falta, ¿no? Y no por esta interacción, sino en general.
Good. What can I... Of course. Of course.
Don't tell her you've met Everard right away. There's time.
More lessons in basic reality?
A
My
ver,
favorite part of the day. Go ahead.
6 kilometers southwest in the Valley of Dogs, Junior Officer Chad Tilbrook takes aim at a rabid black dog licking its wounds in the grass. To his left, his partner, Emil Mullins, whispers, "You heard what happened to Tequila Sunset?" "Yes, he lost his mind," Tilbrook answers, fingers on the trigger. "Don't worry, Emil. He pulls it out slow. We always do."
You? You're an officer of the RCM. Preciso mundo. Nothing more nor less than the de facto law enforcement body of...
Yes, we are the Revachol Citizens Militia.
He's being sarcastic.
Yes, that means not de jure. The RCM acts in what is poetically called the twilight of international law, both at the behest of the coalition government. The RCM's responsibilities are defined by the Emergency, Wayfarer and Aliments Acts, 3 pieces of legislation keeping the city in a...
All 3 are good to know when we are out policing.
Truly moralist of you. The coalition government would applaud you for staying out of politics. There's nothing basic about your role, Detective. It's true that the RCM keeps everything the way our seemingly permanent provisional rulers like it. Yet, on the other hand, I know these people. I deal with them daily. Let me tell you, dear, the post-revolutionary decade was a disaster for the coalition government. Revachol in the 20s was hell, especially on the west side of the river. They called it the international zone because no nation wanted to claim responsibility. The RCM...
That's somewhat of an exaggeration. In reality, ours is a mutually beneficial arrangement. Revacholians get to keep the peace in Revachol, and the coalition doesn't have to worry about it. Anyway, sorry to intrude. Please continue.
Yes, Lieutenant. Permit me to conclude with this. Who you are, to me, is the police. The only legitimate law enforcement authority in Revachol. And if those authorities drink so hard they need help recalling the basic terms of reality, well, I'm here to help. It's a neurological disorder caused by a lack of vitamin B in the brain. Symptoms include a retrograde amnesia, It's quite serious. You should get yourself checked out. Well, it's either bariatric surgery or long-term alcohol use. That seems unlikely. Nothing more nor less than the de facto...
Yes, we are.
He's being sarcastic.
We are.
Yes, that means not de... Permit me to... And if those authorities drink so hard they need help recalling the basic terms of reality, well, I am here to help. A bird? A sphenicid? A flightless bird of the polar regions? Some sort of krill hunter? No, wait. You're an ancient ruin. A symbol of hubris and decay. Half submerged in some salty sea. Of course you're not, my dear. I'm just terrible at guessing games. Ah. This is the pier of Rue de Saint-Ghislaine, 33A, where the tenants have been... or two. A pre-revolutionary tenement. Old buildings are called tenements, you see. And new buildings, bâtiments. After les bâtiments nouveaux, this one used to be 8 to 10 stories tall. A real high-rise by the standards of the last century. Built to mirror the sky, mostly the urban middle class, I believe. This was once primo real estate, before the cannon...
Splat, splat.
You could be wrong, but from here it appears as if she's running the brush across her throat in a soaring motion.
Wonderful. The girl in the old lady rags? Ah, yes. There's something... The girl in the old lady rags looks like a sullen and rebellious member of a teen... Yes, you and I belong to the supraculture. We're common, the herd. The music on the radio, the food in the chain restaurant, those are all too popular for the girl in the old lady rags. She prefers a fantasy world, an infraculture with its own dress code and vernacular. It is an illusion, I'm afraid. There is no refuge from the supraculture. Young people who dye their hair funny colors and wear old people's clothes are stupid, and their little rebellion is self-defeating. All right. What next?
Suddenly, you're not so sure you're part of the supraculture.
And what would that be?
Disco, pues sí.
I can see that, yes. I
Artes
dabbled in those
oscuras.
dark arts myself, not so long ago. I assure you, it was a thoroughly supracultural phenomenon. Nothing infra about disco, baby. Those days are long behind me. And even in the early 30s, I would say I was more of a new girl. Disco was a minor, but still enjoyable facet. The new. A cultural era. And the name of the decade it ravished, the 30s. It involved lots of partying, as you might imagine, and champagne-colored everything. By the looks of it, that would have been when you came of age. Now... Wasn't it Guillaume Le Million who said, if you can remember the new, you weren't there? Ah, yes. This is not very central to reality, is it? I can't be 100% sure, but I believe he died due to complications from venereal disease. You can't get a venereal disease from that, can you? all of them? I'm afraid no. But then again, one can't be entirely sure. It's all part of his mystique. Anyway, what other basic facets of reality should we discuss?
A strange coldness comes over you. It's on the tip of your tongue.
Glad to have been of assistance.
Bueno. Ahora sí vamos a intentar encontrar al fumador.
Hello again, officers.
No, creo que es el otro balcón, ¿verdad? El que tenemos que utilizar. ¡Ey, ahí está!
Gendarmerie, you found me.
His slender figure is back and his shirt is still unbuttoned.
A ver, primero vamos a guardar, porque luego la cago. Y tengo que volver a
This
andar
door is made
todo
of
el
metal.
camino.
Yes? Are you looking for me, gendarme?
No one answers.
We should talk to him.
Gendarmerie.
His slender figure and his shirt.
Beautiful. So tell me, are you here to make things right again? Beautiful. I have some good news for you. My Sunday friend is visiting me tonight. I told him about you and he'd like to say hello. Step in. He's already waiting. That's nice, but I don't have anything to tell you.
He takes another drag. Downstairs, a cat crosses the yard, disappearing into the bush.
Besides, I've got to run.
Something tells you you're never going to talk to an individual this cool or mysterious ever again.
To the city. It's a beautiful night.
Something flutters in the corner of the lieutenant's mouth as you're saying those words.
We'll talk. Just not tonight. Take care, all right?
And he's gone again. Looks like it's becoming a theme for him.
Who knows, detective? It's a mystery. Different, of course.
Creo que ya sabemos de qué se trata, pero
You like talking to him. It made you feel special.
He's barely holding it together. It's all he can do to keep from bursting out in laughter.
Come on, detective, let's go. We've got a potential witness to interview. His Sunday friend, remember?
qué pinche tierno es el idiota de Harry. Vamos a inspeccionar el lugar antes de hablar. Uy, una bata de seda. A ver qué hace esta mierda. Sí, vamos a tener que utilizarla. Se ve horrendo el atuendo que tiene.
You have acquired the robe. Keep it, officer. It looks good on you.
His hands are clean and well manicured. This is a man who knows the importance of...
My name is Charles Vildrouin, and I am an official with the coalition government. I work for the Institute of Price Stabilité on assignment from... I heard you talking to my friend outside. Very good. Super. I am here...
Hanging? What a drag. He seems like a cultured gentleman. You should ask him about the finer things.
Oh yes, my friend has a great eye for these things. He refuses to tell me where it came from. It's a mystery. I believe they call this type of frame. That's really all I can tell you about it.
The lieutenant takes out his notebook and nods to you to proceed.
The coalition is only looking out for the price stabilité. Inflation is a killer, like a heart disease blocking the normal circulation of the economy. It must be controlled. The economy impacts the entire international community, which is why it requires international oversight. La communauté internationale is what Revacholians colloquially call the coalition. In other words, the nations that stopped the disaster of the revolution. Your employer, technically speaking. The governing authority of Revachol. Ah, well, I'm renovating it. It is an interesting project. The building used to be a 12-story skyscraper before the cannons took the top 4 stories off. You could say I'm undoing some of the material damage the international community caused. Yes, as I said before, I am a commissioner from Sur-la-Clé working for the Institute...
Wait, there isn't actually an Institute of Price Stability, is there? Or maybe there is. God, It's impossible to understand whether some...
It is the most important thing. It's the central goal of any sound monetary policy. Maintaining the price stability is essential to maintaining high levels of economic activity, which is essential for maintaining the...
Basically, it makes sure the price of bread doesn't change.
Précisément. Too much inflation, bread becomes too expensive. That's why the Institute of Price Stability works to keep inflation just below 2%. But not too far below, no. Too below is also bad. Below. But the coalition believes in the importance of informing the public about the benefits of the price stability. Transparency is one of our principles. A sound monetary policy is essential for addressing uncertainty. But oh, I don't have my leaflets on me today. That's too bad. You can always call our information line. Making information available is part of the Moral Intern's commitment to It's the international organization for moralists. Hence, Moralist International. The Institute of Price Stability is just one of its many mind babies, as is the coalition.
There are more nefarious powers to work for than the moral intern.
But of course. Because moralists believe in a normal, stable world governed by democratic values.
Me?
You've managed to catch the lieutenant off guard, but only for a moment.
I'm a lieutenant of the RCM, dedicated to maintaining law and order in Ravachol.
A very moralist answer. The Occident is part of the normal world. Oranje, Sur la Clé... Martinez? No. Martinez is something else. Ravachol is generally difficult. It's led by an interim government, but they are working towards it. You're all doing very well here, relatively speaking. Is this option D usually the most reasonable answer? Not boring, my friend. Responsible.
Charlie, creo que
Moralism is all about compromise and achieving the achievable. It's pragmatic, realistic, and level-headed. An ideology for doers.
creo que en la vida real soy así de
Now,
aburrido.
enough of this delightful political interview.
No moralista en el
Was there anything
sentido
else you wanted to ask?
común, sino en el sentido disco Elysium-nero.
What's there to say? Sur la Clé is a modern,
Pero la mayor parte
urbanized country that measures very
en este
high
juego
on the human
trato de
development
ser
and freedom
neutral
index.
porque quiero
Mostly,
información.
It's known as the executive heart of EPIS.
Siento que si tomo bando
Moreover, it is a great sponsor of less emerged
no me darán las respuestas que quiero.
Ravachol is only one of its many darlings whose progress it supports and cherishes.
Darlings? That can't be an official designation.
Because a great percentage of Ravachol's culture hails from Sur la Clé. Its language, its people, its cuisine even.
Jamrock and other parts of the international zone have been mercifully spared of Sur la Clé's love for meatballs and mashed potatoes.
Oranje is an exemplary nation who, as a core member of EPIS, contributes 28% of our annual budget. Next to Sur la Clé, Oranje is as founding members, they are both very EPIS. Oranje carries a lot of political weight, while Sur la Clé takes care of the business side of things. Sur la Clé hosts the headquarters of the Oranje's economy is one of the most advanced in the world. It has successfully transitioned from heavy industry to advanced services and generally acts as an engine for sustainable...
But that didn't tell you anything about Oranje.
Esto suena inteligente, pero podemos quedar como idiotas, así es que vamos a confirmarle que somos idiotas.
About what? Oh, it's very urban and very well organized. Their streets are clean, their horse cars run on time, the people are...
If he knows so much about Oranje, maybe he also knows about Oranje's murder.
Whatever you wish, officer. I'm sorry to say I did, officer.
He didn't see the hanging. He saw the little show staged by the Hardys. Let him talk. He may know more than even he knows.
Officer, it's very difficult to describe what I saw that night. It was so surreal.
He holds out his hands and blossoms his fingers, like a drama teacher set it.
What do you mean, like in a play?
It was just so strange. I could barely comprehend what was happening. I was on the balcony when it happened, getting some fresh air. I remember that first they came in, carrying what looked like a body. And then I saw... That's when I understood. I should not be seeing this.
That lines up with previous testimony, doesn't it? Well done, detective.
Only that there were about 8 or 10. I couldn't make out anything. It was so dark. And it was quiet. Quietest lynching I've ever heard of, let alone heard. But I suspect you knew that already. I can't say I'm surprised. The fine reputation of the men and women serving in the RCM is well deserved. Oh, that's unusual. The Oraniers are not the kind of people you associate with heinous crimes. It's such an upstanding and responsible country. Well, certainly one cannot rely simply on generalizations. That would go... And, of course, any loss of life is a tragedy. So tell me, what have you learned about the victim? It's the responsibility of any good welfare state to take care of its most unfortunate. They gave him a successful career. What else has your investigation uncovered? Lely? That's an interesting name. Ah, he was a soldier. Aha! A condottiere. Yes, it's hard to believe they still exist. That is extremely unfortunate. Yes, it's regrettable that this practice has a history in some... But rest assured, the Oraniers government has committed to producing a timetable that would lay out a path to transition to a professional army. Soon, there'll be... Oh, it's hard to put an exact date on it. I believe the proposal for the timetable is due to be completed around... See? That's the kind of progress that the moral intern makes possible. A great shame, yes. Colonialism is a dark spectre in Oranje's past. Which is why the work of the moral intern is so critical. It is our great bulwark against another century of bloodshed. Extremely distasteful behavior. I cannot condone either drug use or needless boasting. Suffice it to say, that is not how we do. Officer, you shouldn't speak ill of the dead. So you spoke with the victim before he died?
The man gives the lieutenant. The lieutenant raises his eyebrows as though he'd stopped paying attention.
As I said, the loss of any life is terrible. I do hope you're able to bring his killer or killers to justice. We must show that the rule of law still... A fugitive?
Hypothetically speaking, you might add.
Well, I would say that is very bad indeed. What sort of a fugitive are we talking about here?
Pobre muchacha, no vamos a ponerla en peligro.
Oh, a good joke. Very funny. Littering is of course a local offense that need not concern the moral intern. That is extremely serious. Corporate espionage may technically be legal in Revachol, but elsewhere it's a very high level. This fugitive must be turned over to the ICE.
A moment, if you don't mind, sir. You do realize what you're doing, don't you? Very real trouble. I won't tell you how to do your job, but remember, this is an arse.
When you turn back, the man is looking at you, expectantly.
Hicimos bien en aumentar la teatralidad.
Now's your chance, sire. Which of your enemies would you most like to
A
make trouble
ver.
for?
No, pobre tipo. Sí.
As a common lorry driver, you say? Interesting. Are you sure? Much as I'm inclined to believe you, I'm not sure my colleague... I'll make note of your claims in my report, but I'm sorry to say it's likely to end up in the back of the filing cabinet somewhere in Mirova, unread and forgotten. Yes, it rather is. As much... Well, no matter. I should thank you for bringing this... Now, was there anything else you wanted to do? Ah, my friend. My friend is a good young man. His family immigrated here from Kedra, and life has not been easy for him. But he understands the importance of education. Kedra is a candidate member of APIS. But, between you and me, their potential membership is a more... that it's never going to happen. They entered negotiations in 21, and it's been pending ever since. EPIS is a very special program developed by the Moral Intern to support certain Occidental nations. It began as a unified system of weights and measures, which proved to be a wild...
God, yes. Sweet standardization. The backbone of rationality and commerce.
It was such a wild success that we expanded it into an economic union for the processing of steel. Another success. And between you and me, the Moral Intern feels emboldened by this success. Why, it stands for progress and stability, like the Moral Intern as a whole. It's been such a wild, extraordinary success thus far. We are very excited to take it to the next level. A supranational political alliance. The United States of Occident. You mean Revachol? No, it's going to have transparent democracy. It's one day going to be a candidate member of EPIS.
Except that candidate members never become full members, do they?
No, candidate members do become members. Why do we even have the whole system in place? But we were talking about my friend here, not politics. How did any of us become friends? Bad things happening on the insulins in Isola? Oil platforms ablaze in the night? Civil wars lasting for years? Finally, the international community is forced to step in. Au contraire, it's how millions of people end up where they are, meeting the people they meet. It's how I came here. Sorry, who? But I told you, officer, he's a bright young man here to pursue his education. Education is the foundation of our future, especially the arts. It is a cornerstone of our civilization. Officer, you have to understand. I can't give you his personal information. I'm sure you have your own methods and databases, right? Please don't put... He's deeply enmeshed in the study of the fine arts, yes.
As though you weren't envious enough of the boy as is.
He's a truly free spirit. He likes all the arts. Perhaps graphic design, printmaking, who knows? The world is open wide for a talented youth like him. I'm just enjoying the view. Listen.
The baby is crying in the neighboring apartment.
No, listen. The Insulindian Bay. This place used to be a luxury accommodation before the revolution. Apartments, of course. But the million real view stays. You can't take that away. My friend comes and goes. I'm sure you'll see me.
A busy bee. What an odd choice of words.
I'm all ears, officer. A moment, officer. Do you have everything you need from me? I'm afraid we won't have the chance to speak again once you leave. It's against diplomatic best practices for an official in my position to be discussing murders with local militiamen. And I'm pressed for time.
That's not the real reason he's so apprehensive. Men in his position shouldn't be seen loitering around in underprivileged young men's apartments in the middle of the night.
Sure, go ahead. It's a beautiful space. Was there anything else? Of course.
Bueno, ya es tarde. Miren lo que pienso hacer. O lo que me gustaría hacer. ¿Qué le pasa aquí? ¿Está bailando? Lo que me gustaría intentar es...
A weathered brown door. Something smells. The lieutenant motions to you to go ahead and knock.
You're right. Let's talk this through.
You hear light footsteps passing by.
We have our first preliminary identification. In all likelihood, the deceased is the husband of Billy Major. Now, delivering a death notification is never an easy task. There's a reason why it's often called the most stressful part of our job. This is why it's usually done in pairs. You got this. I'll be monitoring reactions, ready to act if necessary. Dad, just don't say that you know how they feel. You don't. Yes, it's hard. But there is no easy way to handle this information. It just has to happen, as soon as possible. We can't. Someone has to deliver the news. Let's go.
Hello? Who is it?
And someone turns down the radio. He gives you a short, encouraging nod.
The police. A moment, please give us a moment.
Tidying up. Nervous.
Come in, the door is open.
Chale, qué feo. No te dicen esto. No te preparan a... Vas a tener que notificar la muerte de alguien. Empatía sería muy útil. A ver, vamos a hacerlo así.
It's you from the book stand. Did you come to bring my cockatoo back?
Eso es peor, notificarle a una conocida.
I don't think I introduced myself properly. I'm Billy. Would you like something to drink?
The lieutenant has taken off his foggy glasses and is busy cleaning them in his handkerchief for now. Condensation from stepping inside.
Is this about Victor, my husband? Is he in some kind of trouble again? I can...
Keep it together. You don't want your body language to tell her the news.
Sorry, I'm rambling. It's just that Victor often gets into all kinds of trouble. So, how can I help you?
How about some small talk before you break the news?
No.
It's me, Victor, and the kids here. We have 2 daughters, Jenny and Jolie. Jolie is 16 and Jenny is turning 18. The girls are staying at their friend's place tonight.
Oh.
And Victor is out.
She swallows visibly.
He has a problem with drinking. And so he's probably in the box drinking with his friends. I sent him to the library a few days ago, but I guess something came up. No, I guess I'll find out when he decides. It shouldn't be long from now. Oh, it's in Jamrock.
Central Jamrock Public Library?
I think, yes, if...
It is.
Just to return a book of mine? Why? Why all those questions, Detective? Yes. His old leather jacket. It's just your average brown leather jacket, but he bought it as a teenager, so... Yes. The lining is hand-sewn. It's blue. I tried to make the thing more weatherproof since he's running around with it in the middle of winter.
No.
She folds her hands across her chest.
People got to eat? What is this about? Why are you suddenly asking me about my cooking?
I don't want to. I don't want to do this.
Yo tampoco.
Do what?
Officer.
Too late. You ruined it. Just say it now.
Excuse me? What? What did you say?
She's in pain. She's in so much pain, and so are you. Your chest is burning.
We are very sorry to inform you, but your husband, Victor Méjean, was found dead this morning on the Martinez boardwalk.
¿Qué clase de juego es este? Uno no espera esto. Uno espera divertirse, pasarla bien jugando.
Oh, but he was just...
I understand that this comes as a huge shock. I want you to know that me and my partner are here for you if you have any questions. We are very sorry for your loss, ma'am.
Kim siempre sabe qué decir.
What happened to him? Tell me. And you just found him there? How long had he been there?
She doesn't reply. Her eyes well up with tears as she struggles to keep it together. You hear the clock ticking in the children's room.
Is there anyone we could call for you? A friend, a family member, someone who could be here?
No. I just need to tell my girls.
Unreal.
God, should I call them? Should I tell them to come home?
No sé. Sí, supongo. No sé.
All right. I'll call them. Just tell me, what do I need to do next?
For God's sake, lie.
And who should I contact?
He was taken to the city morgue. The local coroner will be contacting you shortly to arrange the funeral. Here's his number, in case you want to contact him earlier. Is there anything else that the RCM could do for you?
No, I'll call you if something comes up. I'm still a bit...
Es innecesario decir eso, no creo que le importe, pero quiero justificarlo.
a brain condition.
Again, if there's anything we could do for you, then don't hesitate to call the RCM, ma'am.
She just nods, distant and inconsolable. The bed springs rattle beneath her as she begins to shake. These are her last reserves of strength.
I'll take it from here. Thank you.
We should step outside and talk.
No, no estoy nada contento con esto,
So, the death notification. It's all right. Don't worry about it. I'll call the station tomorrow and let them know the name of the deceased. There's not much we can do for them anymore, I'm afraid. That's it. We should get back to our case. There's nothing more we can do here. And, officer, I've seen worse. This wasn't the worst I've seen, okay? Now let's go.
I really have, he thinks. She was strong. She made it easy for us.
Tenía planeado robarme las botas esta noche, pero ya ni quiero hacer eso.
Yes?
Bueno, lo que tenía planeado era irme a dormir a la casa, a la casuchita esa, no al hostal. Y supongo que allí podría falsificar las firmas. Cuando Kim se fuera, salir en la noche, no acostarme y robar las botas del ahorcado.
This door is made of metal and appears to be reinforced. No one.
Let's go.
Ya ni siquiera sé por dónde irme. Es por acá. Es un videojuego, no tendría yo por qué sentirme así de desmotivado. No existe la señora, no existen sus hijas. Y aún así siento feo. Chale. Yo ni siquiera me acuerdo dónde está la casa la casa de la señora esa. Creo que tenemos que cruzar el puentecillo, no este. Uno angosto. Estaba por la tienda, el lugar de empeños. Ay, creo que todavía me falta una trampa, ¿verdad? Aquí están los borrachitos. Este es mi nuevo hogar.
It's getting cold. This late in the night. Time to...
Good night, officer. We'll meet in front of the shack in the morning.
On the table, you see a bowl of water.
Aquí podremos falsificar las firmas. A ver.
You take the legal documents out of the envelope, a 12 to 40 month construction period, and the zoning plan in the addendum.
conectividad. Guantes, muy bien. Motricidad. Muy bien, vamos a probar esto. Muy bien.
It's getting cold. This late.
A ver, este. No, porque... Se supone que ya lo equipé, ¿no? Ahí vamos. A ver, ahora sí. Sobre...
You take the legal documents out of the
Ahí está.
envelope. A 12 to 40
Vamos
month
a hacerlo.
construction period and the zoning. With a confident flourish, you complete your forgery. What do you see on the signature line? Indeed, they look distinctly different and very convincing, but they're not. And the document will be nullified if they dispute it. That means all you need to do now is mail the signatures to Everart's accountant in La Delta. There was a mail delivery box in the plaza, near the corner of the bookstore.
Muy bien, perfecto. Ahora vamos por las botas. Ya estoy un poco recuperado emocionalmente. No hay que tomárselo en serio, son monitos nada más. Monitos que dejaron huérfana a 2 niñas. A ver, ¿qué? Así, se me hace que tenemos que mejorar la motricidad para robar las botas. Uy, lo peor es que vamos a tener que hablar con el muerto. ¿Verdad? No, me equivoqué de pantalones. ¿Cuáles son? No tengo más pantalones. Bueno, vamos a probar así. Ah, ¿este es el buzón o es un bote de basura? Ese es el buzón.
The dented yellow mailbox greets you with its graffito. You drop the white envelope in the darkness. It lands about a week's worth of mail as collected in there. They'll empty this probably did the right thing. You can't trust that slug, Everard. You know he's going to play you somehow. The box seems happy.
¿Qué es esto? No lo habíamos visto. Ah, no. Estoy todo pendejo. No es por aquí. Es acá. ¿Dónde está Kuno?
The man is decomposing visibly. The body is reluctant to let go of the boots. You're going to need to summon all...
Whoa! Kuno's little sneak pigs.
Yeah, fuck it to pieces for us, liar cop.
It's not completely useless. You're able to reveal a little more of the... It feels like the leg is going to come off. Just relax. This is easy. See? The corpse doesn't care if you try to take his boots. He doesn't need them. He's probably glad to get rid of them. It's heavier than you'd think. You're forced to drop it back down immediately. Damn, you're out of shape. In your defense, something cracks in the left leg. It really is about to come off. You may want to slow down. Don't tear into it like that. This is the right method. It takes some time, but eventually the boots come off, with nasty slices of polymer sock stuck.
Look, he's skinning the fucker up good. Puka style.
Hell, keep at it, pig.
The legs look like they've been clawed at by wild animals. As for the boots, you can't possibly do anything with them until you've cleaned and... These absolutely need to be washed before. Didn't the Whirling have a kitchen?
A verlas.
These boots were probably left on the corpse because they were impossible to pull off while it was hanging. They're not hopefully you will know who they belonged to very soon. The size seems about right. Once you get the foul-smelling flesh gunk out. You've seen too much to be that naive. Even if you don't remember it, you'll never know what it was like.
Kuno's like Kuno's dad? Kuno doesn't give a fuck, yeah? The kingdom of Kuno? The fuck do you want with it? Yeah, Kuno doesn't know shit about that. That shit is beneath. Listen, Kuno could hook you up.
You'd have to be blind not to notice the giant white letters F-A-L-N running.
Pig, these are found modulars. Liquid fit, performance crotch. Believe it, you need this shit.
These could drastically improve your chances of survival in Coach Physical Instrument endorses. They will also make you into an idiot.
Alright, Pico, shit's rolling.
Don't do business with the pig, Kuno. He's gonna...
As you can see, Kuno and C don't trust you. Can't do business without trust.
There's more to his distrust than being a pig. He feels threatened by something obscure in you. What that is, however, remains a puzzle for now.
The fuck? A mug in the trash? Is this about the fucking clothes again? Yeah, Kuno sees where this is going. Kuno's got that fast brain.
I can't hear you, Kuno. Speak louder, Kuno.
Shit, that's tense. Someone's going to the beatdown.
The kid may have something there. He's already come up with an interrogation technique too.
Kuno doesn't know who put that shit in there. And if he did, he wouldn't squeal. But if you find...
Tell the Kuno who it was. He's curious. He likes...
Stop turning into a pig, Kuno! They're trying to get you hooked on the snitching! Get away from my Kuno.
Yeah? Get your bacon shit away. Kuno doesn't like to be seen with the popo. Get your shit done and out of Kuno's face. Look at that fucking shit. You're trying to get... Fuck, does Kuno know? Kuno's not a...
Kuno knows the ladder is unclimbable.
It's a trap, Kuno!
Dunno. Kipta's gardener used to work there.
Kipt is a pejorative term used to describe people of South Seminese or Areopagite descent. It used to be a common first name among the Areopagites of Ilmara. Not so much anymore.
Eso sería darle mucha información, ¿no? A Kuno. Pero nos ha dado él información.
The fuck does this have to do with the Kuno? Kuno doesn't give a shit who she is. Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit. Kuno...
It's always Kuno, never I. Clearly the kid's using the third-person perspective as a shield.
Yeah? Kuno's in a fucking gang.
He lays the names out there with pride and precision.
Watch out, Kuno! He's trying to... Help! Pig's got...
Help! He's got the Kuno, help!
Everyone can hear. You need to get the hell out of here before.
Everybody!
Escalate!
Pigs in here in Kuno! Somebody, please!
Nip it in the bud before it gets completely... Scare him. How did this happen? You can still get out of this. Appeal to his reason.
Ay,
You didn't shut
idiota.
him down. Your fat fist didn't meet its target. Instead, it pulled you down.
Pig's trying not to cry. Kuno can't believe this shit. Pig, Kuno thought you had this. What happened? Kuno can't do anything now.
Fucked your shoulder, fucked your knee, fucked your fat body up!
Yeah, you des...
Oh God, do something quick. They're gonna start that again.
¿Cómo es posible que este idiotez le eche más
beat the
daño
shit
que otra
out of the
cosa?
popo. Beat your fucking knee.
Kuno S is staring at Kuno. Everything about her is saying, wow, what a man.
Bueno, ya vámonos al carajo de aquí. Kuno de mierda, ¿eh?
Was that? Could it be the Col de Mama Dakwa? No, it's probably just your imagination ringing. There seems to be an extreme. Lena also said that it couldn't be heard by any other animal. Honestly, your ear isn't hearing a whole lot. The distant hum of the industrial harbor, the traffic. There it is again. You're about to rediscover. Yeah, but how are you going to catch it? It must be very close. Keep still. It might perch on your shoulder. What are you doing? You're a police officer, not a pansy ornithologist. The only birds you should be looking for are healthy women of childbearing age. Oh no. The sound. No. Too late. It's gone. There is no ringing anymore. Keep your ears peeled, then. If the species really has migrated to Martinez, you're sure to hear it. That pawnbroker, Roy, was into natural sounds too.
Ahí vamos a lavar las botas. No.
This industrial gas-powered stove has been used to prepare food for many hungry. Getting the corpse residue out of these boots is going to require patience, and also a huge pot full of boiling water, soap, and white vinegar. A commercial pot draws your attention. It's very large, gigantic even. It could be used to make enough stew to feed an entire... There is a variety of soaps and bleaches in the cabinet to the left of... It's bad with those boots. Don't be stingy now. The delicious smells of cheap soap and vinegar. All right now, chef. Light up the stove and boil them. The strong smell of vinegar forces you to step away from the pot. The water slowly comes to a boil. Strips of polymer fabric and human tissue separate from the lining of the boots. They float to the bubbling surface. A 2-course dinner of rotten flesh and hardened ceramic. The boots look cleaner and cleaner. Those bits of human flesh are beginning to look cooked. You can just like beef stew. That's it, chef. The boots are as clean as they're going to get. Steam, dense with the smell of strange meat, disappears into the vent above the stove. A pair of real beauties. The boots are shiny, hot, and reek of vinegar. Just perfect.
Qué pinche asco.
Ah, smallest church in Saint-Saëns, right? It was all right. Subdued. I might start letting people up there again. Now, what can I do for you? Another thing. Great. I love those. Why? No, fuck it. I don't want to know. I don't want to know why these degenerates do what they do. I thought we had one good guest in the building. What's that supposed to mean? Fuck you, buddy. She's not my taste. Good thing she pays for her stuff on time. Now, was there anything else? Why? No. Yeah, well, she's not a guest, is she? Anyway, I'll forward that woman her bill and be done with it. Now, why? Yeah, neither do I. Thank you for telling me, I guess. Good thing she pays for her stuff on time. I'll forward her the bill and be done with it.
Sounds like she has money tucked away somewhere. Enough to be a stable paying guest.
Oh yes, that door, sure. No, I don't. Awesome.
He's attempting to maintain an air of indifference. He looks at the dust on his finger and wipes it off.
Yes?
¡Ey! No sabía. Idiota, estoy como corriendo como un idiota. Y no sabía que podía ir
It's getting cold. This
así
late.
de rápido por el mapa. ¡Qué pendejo! A ver, nos vemos en el
An
espejo.
old mirror hangs on the wall. The bed is comforting, if a bit rough. Across the room, the heating system hums its soft lullaby. The mattress feels soft and
Ahora a ver qué sueña.
Thoughts, baby. A million little lights in the dark. You're one fine instrument, brother.
Recorded in you. Forever. On Faraday.
On and on it goes. For untold hours. At the disco where you first asked her to dance. Rising. Rising.
Behold, there are millions of them down there. The first time.
It's the world, Harry boy. And you're made of it. Every day, you can never forget this shit.
Beautiful. It's stuck on loop.
You're the son of the world again. Harrister. A ceaseless agent. Picking up litter.
Reading your awful letters and recalling things, aren't you? The endless names of the world. An address book you are. The map of a city.
You'll go insane if you keep going like this. One more.
For the money, baby. For the greater good.
Solving your little crossword puzzles. Doing your tasks. Crossing names off lists. Trying to become some sort of world detector. It won't make it okay. It won't put smoke back in her mouth. There he goes again. He's a real political animal, our Harry. He's
got no idea what he's in for.
Beep, beep, beep. The alarm is ringing, Harry. The disco circus goes on.
Do it for the picture puzzle. Put it all together. Solve the world. Good. You're up. Listen, there's something that's been bothering you. For it's a suspicion, or a feeling really, that things are not quite in hand around here. An earth-shattering deduction from your psyche. What will those guys come up with next? Every day, things seem to spin more and more wildly, out of control. The center isn't holding. And despite your efforts to moderate and contain these energies, things oh sure. You've been making progress on your case, interviewing people. But who's focusing on the big questions? But have you ever seen them? How do you know they're even there? More important, you've got to find out who bears la responsabilité. The most awesome, terrible. It is human nature to crave la responsabilité and to deny it. That's why it must be distributed across many different organizations. Harry, you're thinking about this. La responsabilité isn't concerned with trivial questions like who killed who. It's about the real issues. The Human Welfare Index. Whoa. This isn't some kind of dictatorship. You can't simply see like a committee. There is always time to follow best practices. Once someone's decided to cut corners for the sake of expedience. Only the most even-keeled, your half-brother, the lieutenant, is a natural place to start. Together, you'll be able to discover who has la responsabilité in Revachol. And, if necessary, you'll have the wisdom and expertise to assign it among yourselves. Most likely, your findings will be collected in a report, which, once they've reviewed it, those same superiors will produce as rest assured, no matter what happens, it will be done. Good luck. Your report is eagerly anticipated.
No entendí nada.
On the table, you see a bowl of water. The water you almost look like. An old mirror hangs on the wall.
Yes? I'm glad to hear it, Detective. I was wondering when we'd get to this very subject. If you ask me, it's past time for you to lay off the street drugs you've been abusing.
Yeah.
They really aren't helping us solve the case. Why are you pronouncing it like that gentleman from the Institute of Price Stabilité? You know what? Forget it. What specifically are you trying to assign responsibility for? Now I understand. Next, I suppose you're going to tell me you need to form a committee to assign this responsibility?
Sí.
Simple. Because moral intern types love to form committees. In any event, I am just a humble law official. I may work under the moral intern's umbrella, but I'm certainly not qualified to serve on any committee. You know who might be, though? That Mr. Villedroit, the gentleman you met. If I were trying to get in touch with the coalition, I would start by seeking him out. But first you might... Now, was there anything else? Okay, let's talk about it. You stole the boots. Congratulations. That must have taken an enormous concerted effort, considerable ingenuity and timing. Now, I'm going to report you and you are going to go to jail. It was a joke, sadly. There's nothing I can do about your delinquency. Honestly. Let's get
Es
back to police
adorable.
work.
Me encanta Kim. Amo a Kim.
I don't care about your insane theft, the lieutenant thinks, and looks away from the boots. Just know, if anyone asks me, I will.
No había notado, y sí es como un icono. Incluso tiene un resplandor. Sería lindo imprimirlo y enmarcarlo. Es un personaje
Our
hermoso.
tenant, the policeman. I hope.
Bien. Hoy no sé qué hacer. Me imagino que podemos buscar otra trampa. Creo que me faltó una.
Nothing has changed.
La boya se me olvidaba.
A metal
El
and plastic
pasaporte.
contraption bobs up and down amidst the trembling.
That over there. Must be the boy Klaas you told us about. The one she hid her passport in.
Ooh, hidden things, secrets, lies. You lift the boy out of the water without much effort. It's not tied to anything. The cords dangling from the bottom appear
Uy, ya
to
no
have
van a
been
estar los
cut.
documentos.
The number 11 has been written on the yellow plastic. It hasn't been in the water for very long, but it's already discolored and slimy with silt. A latch hole.
Simple construction. Very unsafe.
There's something in there, splashing around. It smells like you would expect it to smell. A concentrated version of the coast. Salt, industrial. A shot glass's worth of seawater pours out. Some algae, and nothing else.
Well, damn. I have no idea. Or think we do. This is a small loose end, either way. Not important, I hope. That may very well be the case. We should keep an eye on her.
You could ask the miss what she thinks. Later, if you have the time. Though you doubt she'll tell you much at this point.
We still got here too late. There's nothing of use here anymore.
The dome-shaped plastic boy bobs up and down.
Es la que nos falta.
Nothing has changed about this trap. You need to check the others.
A ver qué dice la tarea. Finisterra al noreste del edificio Feld. ¿Y cuál es el edificio? Debe ser por acá.
The remaining windows rattle from a strong gust of wind. The dripping water falls from... There's rust and corrosion on the bars.
No. I won't even try. You know, I had a partner once. They called him Eyes, because he had to show me things. It's that bad. Well enough, actually. It's odd how that works. I'm no sharpshooter, but I passed my shooting courses.
His hands lead the way when it comes to that. There's some tear. An empty cigarette. 2 empty... No.
A tragedy.
A ver, estamos por acá, ¿no?
Heavy wooden doors. Nothing happened.
I don't think that's going to work.
The carving on the doors remain this cheap. It'll be easier to break the staple than the lock. Also, that sticker is interesting. Somehow, the padlock path. Should you want to get through, it might be this cheap look. It'll be easier to break the... An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it. The door hasn't been opened in a long while. It takes you a moment, but finally, you spot the lock. The reeds sway in the wind picks up here, near the cape's end, surrounding the narrow strip of land. From 3, the trap feels light and silent as you pick it up. Something is different here.
Ah, no tiene
No
langostas.
locust, no phasmid either, but still. Your voice echoes on the coast, carried by a gust of...
Well, the bait worked on something. This doesn't mean it was a reed monster, though. Unless you see one in there. I just see an empty trap.
The netting is a little untidy, messier than the others. Like someone or something picked up the trap and shook it before dropping it back down on the ground.
Right. Anyway, that's for the cryptozoologists to figure out now. We're not crypto.
The reeds sway in the coast. The wind picks up here, near the cape's end, surrounding the narrow strip of land. shaggy-looking girl in her late teens or early 20s kneels on the ice.
Oh.
It's cold out here, but she's not. Everyone knows drugs make you invulnerable to cold. You bet this one likes to party.
Huh?
Maybe she didn't hear you. A little louder.
So should you. Oh, I didn't notice that. Yeah, well... Look, man, fuck the hat.
What did she just say? That's not how a civilian is supposed to address an officer of the law.
I'm sorry I said fuck the hat. I was concentrating on something else. My whole family swears and it rubbed off on me. A cell.
Her hair is dyed blonde, with dark roots showing.
Why? Okay. This is a portable recording device. It's for field recording. Low quality, but still. Actually, just one wire. I picked on it till the braiding came loose. The wire leads to a contact microphone. A contact mic records sounds from inside things, like this ice.
Your mangled brain would like you to know there is a boxer called Contact Mike. No idea.
Yeah, I record stuff with it. Sure. The mic? I don't exactly know. Somehow it doesn't pick up vibrations from the air. The book said it only picks up structure-borne sound, if you like. Same place I got the recorder from, the Elysium. Oh man, you haven't been to the Elysium? It's the coolest place in this whole... It's a music club and a synthesizer workshop on Boogie Street in Jamrock. Musicians live there, like real musicians. I once saw Arno van Eyck. Oh yeah, guess you wouldn't know Van Eyck, or really be a Elysium going kind of person. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means either. That's cool. Sure. Okay. Recording, I guess. I think I'm recording cracks in the ice, but there's no way to tell. Not without headphones. I think I just recorded your footsteps too.
What happened to the old headphones?
My boyfriend sold them. I don't know, man. Things. Just stuff you need for life.
A lie. They were probably pawned off for something suspicious.
The musicians in the Elysium used them for making music. They looped the stuff, cutting the tapes together. Anyway, I thought I'd make some too. It's supposed to be, like, a music place anyway. I don't really know what I'm doing. They use synthesizers too.
Take this, your call.
No man, fuck that, I'm cool. I'm sorry I said that.
It's okay.
Thanks. That? The boys think it could be a place, like the Elysium or something. Stupid. It's really not gonna be a Elysium, that's for sure.
And who are these boys?
Yeah, Andre and the guys.
And why is that?
They got too much stuff crammed in there. No room. Music stuff mostly. Like this tape recorder, but bigger. And there's piles of it. Yep, they were pretty. I'm sorry we sold those. That stuff is more expensive than I am. More expensive than any of us, really. Doesn't matter. I can take the cold. Go ahead. It's supposed to become like, except that, yeah. You know, anodic, cathodic, music that's made with electronic instruments. Synthesizers and tape consoles, microcomputers too. Anything that uses...
This is an evolutionary step up from amplified instruments, which in turn are a step up from acoustic instruments. What comes after it, you wonder? A black-tinted nothingness or something fun?
I know. It's not my idea. Andre and the boys found the place. It was supposed to be deserted, but hey, don't get me wrong, but you're cops, right? Okay, well, maybe you could talk to Andre and the guys, because there are some strange things going on in that church. If you're police, you should look into it, right? They're inside that thing there. Would be cool if you did. Was there something else? No. Not really, no.
She's trying to get out of a direct lie with semantic tricks. She personally didn't put the padlock on the door.
It's Noid's. Yeah, I guess you could say that. To keep more weirdos from getting in. Fucking Martinez. I'm sorry. It's got the worst weirdos. If you get around to it, ask Andre about him, he'll tell ya. Go ahead. Okay, bye.
A ver, vamos a tratar de mejorar nuestra... ¿Qué era? Ay, soy igual de idiota que...
Hello again.
Empatía, eso es lo que tenemos que mejorar. Guardamos. Y vamos a ver con qué contamos. Ahí está, empatía. Pues no tengo con queso, ¿eh?
Hello again.
The tent is just tarpaulin fabric covering a pile of stuff. The flap is open. Inside, 3 young men, all in forward-looking.
Come on! Get in and close the flap behind you.
It's safe to assume this is their leader. Or at least he thinks he is.
Sorry, we barely have room for one.
You go ahead. I'm too old for this.
I'm actually not, he thinks. I just dislike delinquents.
I'm sure you will feel right at home. I'll keep watch.
Está insinuando que es un chavo ruco.
A young man with peroxide blonde hair holds up a Harman Welsh tape player, nodding along to the music.
Hardcore! Hardcore! Yeah!
This young man adds a capital G before the H in his yegs and args. This produces a guttural Gotvaldian accent and makes him... Or maybe it's not Gotvaldian. Maybe it's Oranese. Probably an homage to Oranje, where Arno van Eyck is from, judging by his name. Could you be listening to an Arno van Eyck?
A lo mejor no es y vamos a quedar como unos idiotas, así es que vamos a utilizar nuestro neuronas espejo.
The Y to the E to the A to the A to the A to the A. Yeah!
He missed one A.
I'm the hard rhymer, the track attacker, the mic enforcer, the sixth.
Could there have been a right way out of this garden of forking paths, you think?
Go speak to Andre. I'm just annoyed. I suck at socialising, man. If you go speak to Andre, I'll have time to tune in, get a reading on your side.
¿Cómo?
See? It's already going wrong. Sign is off.
Scared, angry. You see a youngish man bleaching the tips of his hair with a toothbrush.
Hello, I'm on.
There is definitely something futuristic about his hair. Imbecilic. Yes, should the future ever come, it will look deeply imbecilic. Like this guy. His grip is strong, sweaty, and warm.
This is my posse. Noid.
The young man with earrings looks at you suspiciously.
An egghead. Egg! Together with a Cell Burger, who's out there right now, doing some seriously progressive sonic experimentation, we like to think of ourselves as music venue organisers. We have many in the pipeline, officer.
That means they haven't set up a single one yet.
You see, we've been all over Jamrock North, prospecting for real estate to establish a new venue in.
Also for talent.
Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of raw, unfettered talent spinning tapes in Jamrock...
Place is a shithole.
I apologise for my friend Noid's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. He has authority issues. Ah, so you've met her. Good, yeah. It's a matter of occupied ecclesiastical property. I bet you've noticed the derelict hive of narcomania on the coast. I'm talking about the church. And I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spiritual refuge can become a magnet for all sorts of dopeheads and burnouts if left unattended.
Dopeheads! Burnouts! Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map with one of the maddest dance clubs.
Strike that! The word! And sadder yet, because the dopeheads and burnouts hold up in there with the worst.
He leans back a little, watching you with a steady, serious gaze, letting you imagine just how bad those dopeheads. Good. This calls for an opinion. You're an expert in those.
The spooky kind. I was hoping you would be the judge of that, officer. All I can say is, their spookiness is the kind that keeps us from restoring this church into a... Also, they don't eat or clean the building. Shit's gonna collapse.
People just want to spin tapes without them spooking it up.
Thank you, Egghead. So you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter. Getting them out. Whatever spooky stuff they're doing, I'm sure it's not what the Ecclesiastes meant their property for. All right, man.
Andre's obviously very happy you took him seriously. The whole tent is. The boys exchanged giddy looks.
Truth is, I don't really know. None of us do. I don't even know how many there are. All we've seen are glimpses. Well, there's also the machinery. When I first scouted the place, back in February, it was abandoned, empty. Took some time.
One of them has wires running into bowls of water. Wires into water.
Andre, tell him
Oh, and it felt like there was something in there with us, watching us from the dark.
No!
Which other one? I'm not as in tune with my...
Felt like silence. Oh, silence.
Not exactly. We've just seen someone who we think is a woman go in and out of the church. A couple of times. And we felt someone, or something, eyeing us inside. But that's kinda it. Like, you aren't alone, you know?
It wasn't quite...
Not human, as in a ghost.
It was this dark shape climbing upside down along the ceiling, like some kind of crab. Yeah, you know, the way it was...
It was stalking a cell, exhibiting ambush behaviour.
Odd. Crabs are usually marine creatures, and not known for climbing walls.
Crab man!
Yeah, totally. I mean, I didn't personally see it.
So he hasn't even been in there lately.
You should ask her about it, but be nice. Don't tell her you don't...
There probably is no crab man. Don't let them draw you in with this nonsense.
You should talk to Noid about that. I just got a distinct burnout and dopehead sign from them. Probably jacked up to some snuff station too. Probably very low. Well, honestly, I can't.
This is a below-feeble attempt at avoidance. Basically, he is attempting to weaponize idiocy.
I'm 70% sure they're substance users. Don't let the technology fool you. Sure. What? I did ask Noid to install a measure against more drifters wandering in. It's a temporary fix, just something to contain the situation.
I had to do it in an hurry. Not my best work, but it should hold for a while.
Of course. Noid.
All right.
You sense the trajectory of the little piece of metal and plastic. The object makes a small ring. Ka-ching! The key hits your palm. The speed freaks nod to you approvingly. The young man with ribcage-shaped suspenders looks at you, standing there. The word august, used as an adjective. That's how cool it feels to be old and cool in the eyes of the young. Let's face it, You're near death, yet bathed in the golden rays of stately grandeur, like a late summer's day, like a daddy-o.
Not long. Like a week, maybe? I'm super sure they're alive. I mean, come...
Somewhere in the ruinous past that led you here, there was something called exams. You may have learned the term involuntary manslaughter there.
Yes, I do. I listen to Channel 8 all the time. I know about crime stuff, and I assure you, officer, this is not what's happening here. I'm at least 80% sure they're alive. I mean, come on. Most people aren't ever... I don't know. What does anything...
Oh, yeah.
I knew you'd get it. You're one smart cop.
He nods attentively, ready to answer the questions.
Sure, man. Tell us what you want to know. Let's do it. He's a quiet man, mostly communicates through music, and by being a master of ceremonies. You know, a host, a declaimer of...
Interesting, sire. A bit like you, then. An MC for short.
Well, he's just kind of here. I don't really know how to communicate with him. Yeah, sometimes. When I, stumble and find my way into his center.
The man smiles mysteriously. I get it. He's a puzzle.
Oh, yeah, that's a...
If you don't know what the founding party is, there might be a way to mask it with minor demagoguery.
Come to think of it, I've never really looked them up, you know? I can't give you a precise definition, but they're a very powerful religious organization. And they have roots in ancient mass society. And they're the custodians of the Pericarnassian Church. Plus, they anoint the innocents. They, made the innocentic system, no? Totally.
The Pericarnassian Church is about love. And Nordic music is about love. I got love for my Pericarnassian posse. Love is the relay out of death. Love is hardcore.
Unity. Unity!
Make some noise for my Insulindian posse!
You feel it. The anodes and the cathodes coursing through you. Your big toe starts tapping along to the base, as if testing the waters. Feels good.
Oh yeah, it can.
He's coming around. You're getting it.
Yeah!
Do it for the masses. Do it for the crew.
I didn't want to say it, but it was pretty lame of you to imply otherwise. Anyway, you got more questions?
The one with the large head is still looking at you. You feel like you could go for a little disco when, or if they get this club going. You've got it in you.
Yes. What? Yeah, good to have, bitch to carry. When I first scouted the place, I did some reconnaissance. I'm not sure the church even has running water. Oh, it's the one they sell at the fuel station.
It's like he's lying to you, my liege. But he's slippery enough that there's nothing for you to grab hold of.
The what now? Oh, the old Ultra.
He's like an actor. Look into...
I have a major sinus infection, stuffy nose. We all do. Shit's all blasted up. Winter. Can't even breathe. Yes. What?
He nods enthusiastically, no doubt a little relieved.
As always, we'll be right here.
Hi again. So, how are things going?
As always, we'll...
Hi again. So, how are things going?
As always, we'll be right here, waiting patiently for the news. Yeah!
A pane of Eternite has been planted into the barely holding it up. It could fall over any minute. A stronger gust.
It looks like a makeshift bridge. Could be convenient.
The pane falls into the icy snow with a soft thunk. The shaggy-haired girl kneels on the sea ice.
So you talked to my associates, right? Are you going to help us? With the church, I mean. Great. Let us know if there's any progress, will ya? We've been waiting for weeks. Oh, that.
She's less prone to blurt it out, Crabman, than the others.
Okay. I went in and I saw a woman. She was dressed like someone who's been raised by their grandmother, you know, strange old clothes. Had this absent expression. And then, you know, right behind her, a man crawled down the wall. Upside down like a crab, down the church wall. He stopped right before he got to the floor. Then just...
Like a crab, you say?
It was too dark. I couldn't tell exactly.
Come on, she obviously could. She already went into detail.
Why? Okay then. They certainly do around me. My associates? I haven't got much to say about them. Of course I do. I just don't tell people about my friends and...
To the cops.
Me? I'm a silver bird.
A silver bird feels strangely familiar. Was it an expression? And if yes, then...
Don't know what makes you think it'll be any different later, but...
heavy wooden doors, more than the lock turns easily.
Let's go.
A great whoosh of air in the heart of the city.
Muy bien, vamos a dejarlo para mañana. Mañana exploraremos la iglesia. Tres horas, ¿eh? Iba a ser 1 hora nada más hoy.